I'd like to proceed with the presentation. So we have I have just quick 2, 3 slides, which I'd like to show, and then we can dive in directly into the Q&A. So today's agenda is going to cover first a little bit about Gyanberry. I'm sure all of the students already know what Gyanberry is, how can Gyanberry assist you, but it is just right to begin with this. And then I would introduce Mr. Simon, and then we'll dive into the questions. So Gyanberry's mission is to make university admissions faster and easier. So it is our topmost priority to simplify your admission journey and provide you with all the guidance that you require towards your application and admission process. Gyanberry is a 10-plus-year-old company in the education industry, and we're approved by the KHDA in Dubai. We also have a dedicated team of 25-plus counselors and admission officers who are working towards your application and admission journey. We also go by the industry leaders and trusted brand for medical admissions, and we're the authorized regional exam centers for selected countries like Czech Republic, Hungary, and Italy. Now, when it comes to Italian medical universities, for all the students who haven't, who have registered for the IMAT exam, but, require an additional support towards the exam, Gyanberry does have certain materials and classes that you can take advantage of. If you are somebody who wants to give it a try of what the actual IMAT is going to look like, we have IMAT diagnostic test, which you can take advantage of. It's a replica of the actual IMAT, and you can give your online IMAT test, and we will provide you the diagnostic as needed. Over and above that, if you do not want to, take the diagnostic test, we also have mock tests subject-wise. So if you need mock tests for biology, chemistry, physics, math, or logic, it is available for you to buy it separately. And last but not the least, if you are looking for more supervised guidance, or you need somebody to take you through the content of IMAT, like a one-on-one session, we do have that possibility as well. So if you do require any assistance, please do not hesitate to contact us. Towards the end of the meeting, I shall display the contact details that you can get in touch with us on. Next, I'd like to introduce Mr. Simon. So basically, Simon is one of the super mentors with Gyanberry. He's currently in his 4th year of medicine and surgery program at the University of Milano Bicocca in Milan. Simon is also part of the Virgilio project, a research initiative that involves Humanitas University and University of Milan, which has enabled him to conduct neuroscience research at Cambridge. Additionally, he is the co-founder and president of the Mission Brain Committee at the university, an association led by Mayo Clinic neurosurgeon Dr. Alfredo Quinones Hinojosa. Outside of his academic and research pursuits, Simon also plays basketball, and with the group MOB, organizes university parties in Milan as well. So, like you can see, he's a great resource to a lot of questions that, a lot of common questions that students and parents have. So, without further ado, I'd like to stop sharing my screen, and I will open the platform for questions. So I'm going to ask you certain questions, Simon, and you can unmute yourself and you can answer to the queries. Okay. So let's begin with a warm-up question, or a very simple question. So can you please explain the format of the IMAT exam, and including the types of questions that students can expect?
Sure. First, hi to everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be here. You should know that IMAT exam is a 60 multiple choice questions test, and each question has 5 possible answers. You in total have 100 minutes to complete, and you have 23 questions on biology, 15 questions on chemistry, 5 questions on logical reasoning and problem solving, and 4 questions on reading comprehension and general knowledge. You have to know that the test is administered in a paper format, and you are not required to follow a specific order. So here comes the first recommendation I want to give to you. You should practice during the IMAT preparation simulations to identify the order and method that will allow you to complete the test in the shortest possible time. And
ఛార్జింగ్ లేదు,
it's a
ఛార్జర్
great
కనిపించట్లేదు. అక్కడే ఎక్కడో ఎక్కడో ఉంది.
yeah, maybe there is. Okay. And so also with I mean the greatest peace of mind, even because you should remember that part of this time will be dedicated to filling in the answer sheet and the personal data sheet, personal data form. So reducing the time you need to answer will allow you to be more calm and more sure about your time during the test.
Great, great. Thank you very much for that first insight. Now, following the previous question, I would like to ask, what is the weightage of different sections in the IMAT, and how does this impact scoring?
Okay, you should know that each question regarding the point is the same, because you got 1.5 points for each correct answer. You got 0 points for each unanswered question, and you are subtracted 0.4 points for each incorrect answer. And this is the same for each question of the test, but only if there is someone in the ranking for the university you are applying for with the same score as yours, priority is given to the candidate with a higher score in first, logical reasoning and general knowledge. So we can say that question in logical reasoning and general knowledge are more important, but just in case there is someone with the same score as yours. And then biology, chemistry, and maths and physics. So this happens just very, it's rare, very rarely that you should consider your score in the rankings for the number of questions in logical reasoning and general knowledge instead of biology and chemistry, but it can happen. So you should focus more on logical reasoning and general knowledge. Regarding these things, so the priority you should do to the questions, I want to give a second advice to you. In most cases, if you are undecided between two answers, it's better to answer by instinct rather than not answer at all. It's just a statistical thing, because you understand that you have 5 possibility answers, and if you are in doubt between just 2, the probability that you got it right and so got 1 point and a half, it's much better than the probability to lose 0.4 points. So I think that this is all regarding scoring.
Great, great. Thank you very much. That was helpful. So I just have a question related to what you just said, that you mentioned that students must focus also, on the logic part. So if you can shed some light on what kind of questions to expect, under the logic reasoning or logic section, just like if you provide us with some idea.
You should expect 4 types of section in the logical reasoning and problem solving. You should focus on verbal reasoning, so understanding arguments, assumptions, and conclusions. Quantitative reasonings, so numerical reasoning, interpreting graphs and tables, data analysis, and basic mathematical logic. Abstract reasoning, so you should recognize sequences, analogies, pattern recognition, these type of things, and problem solving, so application of logical thinking to solve complex problems using given data. So this regarding the logical reasoning. And I think that these are overall essential skills for medical students. Then in the same section, because in Italy we consider it on the same level, we have also general knowledge and reading comprehension. So they are not two different sections. It is the same question. And so maybe you can have even all the question regarding general knowledge. It's not like this. Generally, they are 50-50. But you should focus also on general knowledge and reading comprehension. And so for general knowledge, you should focus on mostly current events. For example, the year I had my IMAT, it was 2020. So of course, we knew that COVID pandemic was the first topic we should focus on. History, generally last century history. They don't want to analyze medieval or ancient history. Because we understand that not all university, not all the country in the world study the same classical history. Politics, I mean some information regarding WHO or regarding United Nations. Scientific discoveries, this is very, very important. Scientific discoveries, and also Nobel Prize or other types of prize, even literary prizes. And what else? Maybe something regarding economics or that's all. And then reading comprehension. So you should be able to understand, interpret, and analyze passages, including identifying main ideas of one text. And you should also be able to understand which are the arguments that the author used for his thesis. Okay.
Excellent. That was very, very well explained. Now, I have two questions that I will ask simultaneously. So one is, can you provide insights on a typical score range required required as an admission to top universities in Italy? So what would be like a typical score students should aim to get, which is like a safe option? And question two is,
Yeah.
after you've answered this, let me know, how does the ranking work for these universities?
Okay. So I can talk about the points needed for the last year. I have my data here. And in 2023, the minimum score to access the publication of the ranking was 39.4 for the University of Messina in Sicily. In 2022, it was 47.2. So it really changes among the years. Because of course it depends by the difficulty of the test. So you should not focus on just the average point. I think you should really focus during your preparation on trying to do your best score, even 90 if it's possible. So it really changes. But you should understand that for non-EU students, you can apply to a single university. And this ranking doesn't scroll. So as soon as they are published, the rankings, you know if you are in or you are out. So the problem is the following one, that if you want to enter in a university that generally require a lower score, like Messina, you have more probability to get in. But if you apply to one of the university that requires the highest score, like Milano, of course, you run the risk to don't get in. But about this, we can focus on another information. And so that the average point, the minimum point to get in all the university, it's not really different between all the university, because for example in 2023 we had 50 for Rome, 53 for Pavia, 53 for the other university in Rome, 49 for Torino, 54 for Bicocca, that is the second university in Milan, 52 for Naples, 50 for Parma, 47 for the second university in Naples. So I think we should focus on this. So if you think you can get a good score, you can even risk to apply for one of the top universities. But if you are unsure about the score you will get, my advice is don't have the fear to go to one of the universities that are not considered as the top, because in Italy, all the universities to study in are very, very good universities, even the ones who has a lower score, because the title is the same, and also the preparation is the same. Maybe the traineeship opportunities are not the same. I know this is what really can change between one university and another one, but in Italy you can do traineeships whatever you want, and you can just ask to university to recognize that experiences even abroad in your curriculum. So if you are not sure about your score and you absolutely want to do your medical school in Italy, don't have the fear to apply to a medical school like Rome, or like Messina, or like Bari, because they are good university anyway. Okay.
Yes, got it. Thank you for that. Now my next question is, what are some common mistakes that students do that negatively impacts their IMAT scores? Could you highlight some of it?
Yeah, I think there are different mistakes students make during the IMAT. The first one is not reading question carefully, because misreading or misunderstanding the question, especially under time pressure, can lead to selecting the wrong answer. So you should pay attention to details such as expect, not or true, false to avoid errors. The second thing is the second most common error mistakes is poor time management because many students spend too much time on difficult questions, leaving insufficient time for easier ones. I think it's crucial during the IMAT to allocate time wisely. So you should move quickly through questions you know, and returning to other ones later if time permits. For example, when I had my test, I quickly answered to biology and chemistry questions because they didn't need so much reasoning on it, and focus more, dedicated more time on logical reasoning and math and physics questions because they generally need much more time and much more reasoning to answer. The third common mistake is guessing without strategy. I mean, as I said before, if you are undecided between two answers, it's better to answer by instinct rather than not answer at all. But if you are undecided between 3 or 4 answers, maybe you should consider not answer at all because in ignoring negative marking and so the penalty of 0.4 can significantly impact the final score. So you should be aware of when to skip a question and when to answer anyway. Last, I think that another mistake is getting stressed or panicking because anxiety or panic during the test can lead to mistakes. And also the rush can lead to mistakes. In Italy, we say that la gatta frettolosa fa I figli ciechi. That means that the mom of a cat who tried to got fastly her kids, then cats are born blind. So you should try to relax, not panicking, not be stressed, and really remain calm. If you during your exam have people who are anxious or try to involve you in their anxiety, please tell them not to bother you because this is really a problem, and if they continue, ends up hold up your hands and say that to the one who is responsible for the exam because maybe he or she can move to other places. And I think that's all.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So moving to the next segment of questions. So I would like to, I mean, of course, a lot of students would like to discuss a little bit of study strategies, and time management. So we have some questions for that. Now, the first most important question is, what is the most crucial topics that you would like to highlight for the students preparing for the IMAT this year? Like specific to subjects, like, in logics or bio or chem. Is there something like, is there any crucial topic that you would, recommend students to focus on?
Yeah, regarding biology, I mean, it's there are so many questions regarding biology because 22 questions are really a lot of questions. And so I don't think there is just one topic you should focus on. You should focus on everything: cell biology, so structure and function of cell organelles, cell membranes, cell division, so mitosis and meiosis, genetics, so Mendelian genetics, DNA replication. You should focus also on biochemistry, so structure and function of biomolecules. There are really a lot of things you should focus on. Regarding chemistry, I think instead that one of the most asked topic is regarding chemical reactions. I mean, regarding redox, acid-base reactions, and precipitation reactions. All the other questions are really marginate, but of course there will be questions regarding maybe types of bonds, mole calculations, molarity, but I think they are generally very easy. The hardest questions on the chemistry part is regarding chemical reactions. What about mathematics and physics? Even for mathematics and physics, they are basic questions. So I studied in a high school, scientific high school. So we studied something like integrali or derivatives. They are not requested at all. You should not focus on this type of complex functions. You should just focus on algebra, geometry, and basic statistics like mean, median, and probability. Even regarding physics, you don't have to study quantum physics. Absolutely, you should not focus on Einstein law or something like that. You should focus just on the mechanics, maybe something regarding electricity and magnetism, like Ohm's law, electric circuits, magnetic fields. That's all. Maybe thermodynamics even, and that's all.
Perfect. All right. Thank you for that again. Now I think since you've already given an idea about the crucial topics, could you provide some insights as to your study strategies? You know, what worked best for you, and how did you manage your time when you were preparing for IMAT?
Yeah. I will tell you my secrets. Yeah, I think that one of the first thing I did that worked during my preparation was active learning. I mean, instead of just reading textbooks, I always tried to actively engage with the material I had to study. And one of my most important source was my little sister. I tried to explain to her all the topics I was studying. So she was at the time, by that time, just 6 years old. I think she hated me, but now, since I tried to explain to her all these type of things like biology, chemistry, physics, and math, she is really passionate about that. So I think you should try to explain these arguments in order to really make it be understandable by even a child. Another type of strategy is focused reviews, because I regularly review the weak areas, especially after practice tests. There are a lot of books that can allow you to understand which are, and also website platforms that allow you to understand which are your weak areas. And I think that you should focus just on what you are weak, because if you know you are really confident with an argument, with the topics, you should not answer to that questions just to feel comfortable, because when you will be seated for your exam, of course you will do that right. You should focus just on what you are weak. And then a variety in resources, because I used a mix of study materials, including online resources, my high school textbooks, YouTube channels, and also some website platforms that really work here in Italy. Like, I don't know if you have ever talked about, heard about Alpha Test or Art Quiz, that are some Italian platforms that really help us Italian students. And I think that these helped me to cover different perspectives and explanation for the same concepts.
Great, useful, very, very useful. And also, I think you were in your school while you were preparing for IMAT. So would you like to cover a little bit on the time management aspect? How did you manage your time?
Yeah, so you should go through the entire test quickly, answering questions you know well and skipping those you find difficult. I think this ensures you secure easy point first, because we need points. We need to do as more points as possible. Then you should allocate specific amounts of time for each section, like 20 minutes for biology, 15 for chemistry, and you should use a watch to keep track and move on if you are spending too much time on one question. So you are allowed to use a clock. Be careful, because in Italy, I don't know how rules are if you are going to do your test in Dubai, but in Italy you are allowed to use just not a digital clock, so a traditional clock with numbers and lancette, how to say it in English, that move, okay? Then, if you're unsure about a question, but can eliminate one or two options, make the guess we talked before. And then practice mindfulness techniques like deep breathing if you feel anxious, and staying calm in order to be able to manage your time effectively.
Okay, all right. That's also a great advice. Now, looking a little bit apart from textbooks, probably you could provide us some practical advice apart from textbooks. So if you could let us know that how did extracurricular activities or, what do you say, your practical experiences help you with your medical studies? If you can shed some light on that.
Yeah, sure. I think that once you enter in medical school, you are entering in a really environment that is very, very, very stimulating, because there are a lot of opportunities, like volunteering or internships opportunities, not just regarding the medical expectation, because of course Italian universities are called universities just because you can talk with the students of other faculties. So and even the relation with the people who don't study just what you are studying is very, very, very important, because this can help to open your mind and open your perspective of what you are doing. And even because our work, our future work as doctor requires that we should understand how people are made. So what are people expectations? What are people wishes? What are people desires? I personally, I did for 2 years. I have done volunteering in the Italian Red Cross. In Italy is really, really big, the Italian Red Cross. So there are a lot of opportunities to do volunteering, like in hospitals or clinics, but even in helping of homeless. Even if you want to transportate blood donations from one hospital to another one. And this can help not just for the practical activity, because I think that practical activity is easy to learn. I think that the most valuable thing is to know as more people as possible, because this way you will you will begin to build your social network, and this will help to grow you as person. Then there are a lot of research projects you can get involved in. For example, I tried to get involved in all the research projects regarding neuroscience in my universities. In my university, sorry. And generally, professors are really happy to involve you in their research projects, because they are happy to explain you what they are studying, because they are professors. They like to teach. And then you should also enjoy life, enjoy clubs, enjoy parties, enjoy trips, because in Italy there are a lot of places you can visit outside of the big city where you are going to study. So this can help you even in understand what can happen if you go to mountain, if you go to the sea. There are a lot of opportunities, and so then maybe starting from these experiences, you can build an extracurricular club, so an organization related to medicine, science, or debate. For example, me, I got involved in politics, but just because medicine is, of course, connected to politics. So this is very important to improve your communication skills, which are essential even for collaborative work in medical settings.
Great. That was also very, very insightful. Now, in addition to what you just mentioned, how do how important it is to connect with peers, or join study groups, similar study groups, to get information? Do you think it is helpful for students?
Yeah, I think that this is the most important part of university, because um, when you do an exam, your mark generally, mostly in Italy, because in Italy our exams are generally oral exams. You don't do too much write exams. I don't think if it's the same for medicine in English, but there are even in medicine in English a lot of oral exams. And this is very important, because generally the mark is not what we expected to have. And so the opinion of the professor can lead us to insecurity about our preparation. But if you connect with peers, they will give you motivation, moral support, and you should trust more your peer opinion than your professor opinion. I know this can lead to untidy preparation. But listen to me, this happens really often. So peer support is really fundamental, is the most important part of the university, most important than your preparation for the exam. And even because in a study group, for example, we divided the topics among members, allowing each person to become an expert in a particular area and then teach it to others. And this method is really important because reinforce the learning and ensure the comprehensive understanding of the syllabus in time that are compatible with our exams, because generally we have to prepare an exam in just 1 month, and the book is like 1,000 pages. And you understand that it's absolutely impossible to study 1,000 pages just by yourself. So you need to divide it with other classmates, and this way you will succeed. And even for your professional life, so after university, building a network of peers will help you to stay informed about useful resources, new strategies, and even working opportunities.
Great.
I think
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I completely agree with you. I think, and especially because students are going to go to a new country all alone, it's important they, not only connect with peers just for the knowledge of the exams and all, but also to feel that kind of confidence and to feel, secure. So definitely, very great piece of advice.
Yeah, you
Now,
need a family.
sorry.
You need a new family. You need to build a Italian family. That's the only
Absolutely.
way to succeed.
Absolutely. Um, Now I have last two questions before I can open the floor to the students if they have any other questions. So once the students have got their particular ranking for their respective university, what is the post-enrollment process like?
Yeah, once you did the IMAT test, and you should wait about 1 month. It depends from each university for your rankings. I have the data that were published some days before from the Ministry of University. And just one moment. Yeah, so on the 26th of September, there will be the publication of the anonymous IMAT 2024 ranking. On the 3rd of October, candidates can view their work and score in the reserved area of Universe Italy. And on the 10th of October 2024, there is the publication of the National Nominative Merit Ranking. So you should wait about 1 month, and then there will be the ranking. After the publication of the ranking, generally on your personal area, there will be some very important informations for your enrollment process. At this point, by this point, you should have done already your DOV request, your declaration of value request, right? Because you know that this is very important at the moment of enrollment. So just a little remind, if you don't have request your declaration of value yet, you should do it as soon as possible, because it requires about 1 month to get the certificate, the certification of your high school studies in an Italian version, valid legally. So I recommend to ask it as soon as possible. And at the moment of the enrollment, you should upload this type of document. And I think that all the information you will be necessary to add the university on each website form there is written. So it's not really difficult. You should, if you are in, you must fly to Italy with all your documents to complete your enrollment to your university within several days. The range of the time it's really different from university to another university because some university allow to enroll online or via mail, but it's not the rule. So therefore, you will need to check that with the university directly, okay? And what else? I think you might need to arrange a student visa via your embassy beforehand, in case you should fly to Italy. And that's all.
Okay, great. Perfect. So yes, we come towards the final question from my end. And I know you have been providing very detailed insights regarding the IMAT process, as well as, your recommendations or your tips and guidance. I'd like to ask if you have any final recommendations or tips that students can keep in mind while while they're on their final preparation for IMAT, and for all the students who are feeling very overwhelmed at this stage.
My final tip is during your IMAT, even preparation and your IMAT test, always have a positive song in your mind because it helps you to have a positive mindset and a really strong consistency.
I think that's a very nice advice and very fun advice. So I'm sure a lot of students would love to do that. With that, thank you very much, Simone, for answering to all my questions that are provided by the students.